Alright, we are going into black here, into black rares. And Baleful Masteries to start off with. You may pay 1 black rather than its mana cost. If it does, your opponent draws a card, exile target creature, planeswalker. Okay, so it's just Eat to Extinction is what it is. It's probably worse than Eat to Extinction. It's probably 8. I mean, you're always going to play it. I don't know how many times I would ever going to play the 1 black cost of this, but unless that creature's killing me, I'm probably not going to do it. To me, removal, like, they're like straight up removal spells, just blanket 8s most of the time, unless they're better, unless they draw a card. Which there was actually one in red, so. Alright, Cow's Blood Mage. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. Create a 1/1 pest. Draw a card and lose 1 life. Exile target player's graveyard. This feels like an uncommon. Can't believe it's a rare. I mean, this is worse than like Cyril's Packmate from the previous set, right? So, and like that was a common. Yeah, Phyrexian Rager, you're right. Phyrexian Rager was a common, and I'm not even sure this is better than Phyrexian Rager. Yeah, Phyrexian Rager, there you go. Good point. Phyrexian Rager was a common. It might actually just be better than this card. I mean, you're always gonna play it, it's fine. It's a 7, it's not like... It's whatever. You don't splash for it. Unless you need the Tormod script. I don't know why you would, but... I don't know, this is not a very exciting card just because it's worse than commons that have been in recent history. It's just... I'm just like... This is worse to me than like Horizon Seeker in the previous format. Like, this is worse than so many commons in just the last format. I don't even know if this is like... Yeah, maybe this is just a 6. This is just whatever. This is just... I mean, you play it. But this is really whatever. Search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. If it's an instant or sorcery card, put a counter on this. Okay. I guess. You can like thin your deck of lands? Or you can like put a counter on this and like take out garbage cards. I mean, this is fine. It's like a Mana Severance. It's my type of card. I love these types of cards. It's better than Cow's Blood Mage. It's at least a 7. Oh, you put it with Unwilling Ingredient. Hey, there you go. That's actually cool. Good point. You go search for Unwilling Ingredient and you just get it. Yeah, that's cool. I can see that. This might be up to an 8, depending on... And it's also not sorcery speed, so you can just like do it. You can just leave it on tap and do it in your opponent's turn. Your opponent has to respect it. Might be a 4/4. Hey, you can fetch the 4/2 that you can rebuy with life gain. Yeah, yeah. I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. This actually might be an 8. It's like a 7.5 or something. It could be an 8 or a 9 if you have the Mystical Archive cards that work with it. So, like, to give you an example of what I'm talking about, there's Increasing Vengeance in this format, which has flashback 3 red red, right? So, like, if you can find cards like this, then obviously it becomes way higher. But the baseline is at least a 7. Like a 3/3 that grows every turn by tapping it. I mean, that's a 7. It's a little bit better than that, but all right. Pestilence Cauldron. Tap, discard a card, create a pest. Okay. 1 tap. Each opponent mills cards equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. That seems unlikely. 4 mana tap. Exile 4 target cards from a single graveyard. It could be yours or your opponent's. Draw a card. This is a hard one to evaluate. Let's look at the backside real quick. Return up to 2 target creature, land, and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. Alright. Wait, each player gains 4 life. So, but the thing is, it's like restock, right? Restock was a bomb. Right? It was just restock. It was an uncommon power level card, but it was good. So the front side is makes me think of Trading Post. I don't know if you remember that card. Trading Post was a card you always played, and it was really good. It really does remind me of Trading Post. Well, this can also do something for free. It discards a card to make a 1/1. The thing is, if you gain life somehow, you can mill your opponent, and then you can like exile cards from your opponent's graveyard to draw a card, right? On the same turn, I guess. I don't know. We'll call it a 6. I'm willing to reevaluate it. Like, if you're playing black-green, do you play this card? Probably yes. The question is whether it's a 6 or a 5, right? Maybe it's a 5. Maybe it's a 5. Yeah, if you're like a white-green deck, do you play just this card, just for the green half? Probably. Maybe it's a 6. Oops. Yeah, maybe it's 6. It's around there. I don't think it's not like it's a 9 or an 8 or a 9 I'm undervaluating. It's either a 5 or a 6. Poet's Quill. When enters the battlefield, learn. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 in lifelink. It's baseline a 9. This is a base 9. This is pretty stupid. Yeah, it's way better than Shadow Spear. Although, I mean, it's not colorless, but because it draws a card. Yeah, Cantrip Warhammer. Yeah. This is like a 9 or a 10, right? I can see this single-handedly winning the game. The fact that you, like, I can totally see this single-handedly winning the game. This might be a 10. This is Eska's Chariot level of 10ing, right? Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Ruined Crown, but Ruined Crown was always a 9. Maybe this is a 9. It's a high 9. It's a high 9. 10. I think this is actually worse than the white one. I think it's worse than Sparring Regimen. Because this doesn't have an equipment cost, right? I think it is worse than this. But it's not by much. Maybe it is a 10 for this format. I haven't really made any 10s, that many 10s in the format. This will be basically the second one. Well, that it takes blacks to play and black to equip is certainly downside. If it was 2 colors to equip, I think I'd be a lot less hesitant to make it a 10. The black mana to equip it is kind of what's holding it back. But right, it's harder to splash as 2 black. That is correct. Whereas this is easy to splash. The Sparring Regimen, you're like, it's easy. Let's do it. Laxus, we're comparing it to a card that also learns. I'm gonna put it as a 9 for now. I'm willing to believe it's a 10. It's way better than all my other 9s. It's not better than multiple choice. I don't think it's better than this. And it's not better than this either. So I think it's pretty clearly a 9 then. Alright, Sedgemoor Witch. 3 cost 3/2 menace. Ward pay 3 life. I'm on board already. Wait, what? I'm on board already. Whenever you cast or copy an sorcery spell, create a pest. Yeah. This is good. This is a 9, yeah. It pays you every turn it's in play, right? Because that has menace and it like gives you pest every turn. Well, every other turn probably. Yeah, like it's better than you know, it's way better than this, right? So it's at least an 8. Yeah, it's better. It's better than this. It's like a random removal spell. Yeah, I think it's a 9. Alright. Valentin, Dean of the Vein. Yeah, like my benchmark for 9s are basically cards that pay rent. Right? And Poet's Quill and Sedgemoor Witch, they pay rent. Right? Not only does it like learn, so it has like it gives you a down payment, but the lifelink pays you every turn. And Sedgemoor Witch is paying you every turn from either attacking or from the Magecraft. Alright, one cost Menace lifelink. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 1/1 pest. Okay, cool. I like the front side. I'd play the front side. And it's like it's one-sided, so it doesn't stop you either. So like your opponents leave the police, like your opponents creatures that have when this creature dies do something, they don't work with this. Even you don't even have to pay 2. They always get exiled, but you can pay 2 to get token. Yeah, I know it says non-token, so your opponent's pest, that doesn't work off non-tokens. You're right. You would play the black. I would play the black side. This fellow pays you every turn he's in play. If it's a very meager rent, but he pays. Yeah. All right. This is the back side. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. If you do, put a counter on each creature you control. On each creature you control, and those creatures gain trample until the turn. Yeah, I mean, it's at least this card's at least a 9. But at the end of the day, it is a creature that you can just terminate, right? So it can't be a 10. It can't be a 10. 10s are reserved for things they don't just die to terminates, right? This will just die to a terminate. So, but yeah, this is a 9, and this is a card that you would play either half in your deck. If it's black, the black part of this is probably a 7 or an 8, right? The black side is a 7 or 8, whereas the green side is like closer to an 8 or a 9. But I think the fact that you can do either, yeah, it's not a 10. Things that just die are not 10s. Things that can just die and just like you got nothing out of it, not a 10. I like the artwork on this a lot too. Professor Onyx. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Ooh, yeah. +1, you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest of your graveyard. Oh, yeah. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power. Oh, yeah. Each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. Yeah. No, this is a 10. This is a 10. You were asking me about, like, oh, this is a 10. Now this. Let me show you what a real 10 looks like. This is a 10. I'm gonna go ahead and revise my thing earlier on Hall of Oracles. This is not a 10. At the end of the day, this is like 3 counters on your creatures for free. This is like an 8. You always play it. Obviously. It's like an 8 or a 9, but it's not a 10. It's not a 10. It's close. If it put 2 counters, it'd be a 10, right? I mean, it's not like... A 10 is Starnheim Unleashed from the previous format. I can tell you what 10s look like from the previous format. So a 10 would be something like Starnheim Unleashed. It would be like Eska's Chariot. It'd be like Coma. These are all cards that are just like you can't just kill them. Coma is like you can maybe just kill them, maybe you can just kill it. It's hard. You can squash it basically, or you can respond to the upkeep and kill it. But those are examples of 10s, and this is on that level If you play it, it has, like, you play it, you draw a card. It's likely that your opponent can't deal 6 to this. And then on the next turn, you can, like, murder one of their creatures, or you can do it again, and probably find a murder from when the top 6 cards, and then you play it, and you drain them for 2, and then there's, like, every single turn it's getting worse and worse. It's just, like... Yeah. Perfect. And by the way, it says Legendary Planeswalker Liliana. So, yeah, apparently that's Liliana. Looking good. Looking good, Liliana. But yeah, this is a 10. You can't compare it to something like in this previous thing where we were looking at Jadzi. Like, even when this card works, it's not even half as good as Liliana. Even when this card, and you have to work so hard for this, and it costs 8. They're like, you have to, no setup. Liliana doesn't need setup. So, how is this Liliana? It just says Legendary Planeswalker Liliana. I don't know the plot. I just know what it says. So, yeah, she has her own job. She has her own bank account. She's an independent woman that doesn't need no man. You're in a partnership. When you cast Professor Onyx, you're in a partnership. All right. She gives you information with the +1. You use that information to defeat her foes, and she pays you for it, right? It's a partnership. It's a give and take. Like, you give her $5, she gives you a Terminate, and then you get $10 for killing a creature. I like it. Alright, let's go on to another color.